Today on this episode of RealityGays.
Layla has a meeting at Ford Models. Didn't go good.
Y'all, this Shinia don't impress me much.
And finally, who doesn't love a broken childhood memory tour of Pueblo, Colorado?
Roll it, Christina.
RG on YT, y'all.
Get down tonight, Daddy.
It's time for Reality Gays. We're here to cover another reality show. And while the video plays, just sit back and let go.
Now, you may be thinking, where'd the theme song go? We made this little switch because copyright's a bitch. We got 90 Day, Mormon Wives, Lala, and more. And now you can watch us, you whore.
You like to watch, you dirty slut. Yeah, you know.
Like it, don't ya? A little too much. Ooh, moist.
RG on YouTube, y'all. I want to show my creamy shoulders. And maybe my nipple.
Poodle, no! Whose bed have your boots been under? Because this Shinia is a bitch.
That was a lot coming at me.
You're fine. You're fine. Welcome to my world.
I think everybody else is a little. It was a lot.
You know what? You're always a lot coming at me. Welcome.
It's like 10:30 Sunday.
It's just because you're getting over being sick and you're still like a raw amoeba that's been hatched into the world, and it's hard for you to feel things. And that's fine.
It's too easy for me to feel things. That's the issue.
You got to get banged so you kind of harden up.
I've decided to return to the world of the living.
Oh, boy.
Like Dolly Levi.
Oh,
I'm almost well.
More importantly than you almost dying.
Is it?
This treacherous little snake of a person.
Shinia?
I don't think
Shinia.
Thank God it's spelled differently because I don't think she deserves the name.
Shinia.
Because Shinia means it's Ojibwa, I believe. Ojibwe for I'm on my way. This bitch is I'm gonna get in your way. I'm gonna get in your way. Yeah.
I mean, Dakota needs just as much blame. But this is a major girl code violation. Yeah. Especially the way she was talking to Taylor about this guy she was seeing.
What a idiot. And then we just find out later, y'all, because we watch 8, 9, and 10, that she's just another woman in Utah who has no self-esteem because religious institutions have told her she has to get
she's
the approval.
Because she can never have the priesthood, so she's worth nothing as well.
Y'all,
yeah.
Welcome to Reality Gays. I'm Mattie.
And I'm Poodle. And we are two ridiculous homosexuals who love nothing more than tearing reality television a new one.
And today we are talking about our favorite saints and sinners. This is Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. We're talking about season 4, episode 8, the book of Unearthing.
Unearthing.
There's
some Southern stories in this, Utah stories.
Whoa.
In this one.
Woo. Whoa. I mean,
Leanne's had a life.
Trigger warning for domestic violence. Trigger warning.
Use,
drug
suicide.
use. Suicide. Just
all of it.
All of it.
Trigger warning for all of it.
Yeah, basically. Only thing on that list is not getting fucked by an alien. But other than that, all of it.
Nope.
Wouldn't put it
I'm
past
sure
them
that's
for
possible.
Bachelorette. Boy.
I gotta say, I was thinking about this strategy about putting someone on the Bachelorette who we kind of, besides not who we knew from a previous Bachelor season. I mean, that's what they've tried to do before, obviously, and create a fandom. But we've watched someone kind of go through struggles and worried about them, and probably, for me, worry about their own health if they're going to be able to do the show.
Their own mental health?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that's a genius way to get people to tune in.
Oh, yeah. We're watching every episode.
The ratings are going to be insane.
Yeah.
It's just
The producers of the show have a new show too called Love Overboard that's coming out at the end of March of this.
which the Bachelor producers or this show?
Secret Lives of Mormon Wives.
Oh, with Alex Cooper.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's going to be it's going to be a bi-curious option.
Yeah, we don't.
Just feed the many-armed beast.
Hey, we created it.
Did we?
We did.
We didn't start the fire.
Oh, well, I don't know.
It was always going since the world's been burning.
But we turned on the mics.
I'm not responsible for this, and I won't take.
That's true. You never do tech ever. So
No.
it's not your strong suit. And that's okay because you wrote an amazing YouTube song. And I love that y'all love it. Thank you so much for, I've been reading your comments and y'all already are asking for a music video. Because again, that's something
Are they?
Yeah.
Or is that
they're
something
already
that you're just coming up with?
people are asking. We got, again, feed the beast. We don't have time to do that right now. It's on. I'm already thinking of ideas. Yeah, maybe but it is. Yeah, it's going to happen.
It's still in my head.
If anybody has a free roller skating rink I could use, I would appreciate it.
You think someone just has one that they own?
Sure. Why not? We had a mining sissy who coal mined. Why couldn't we have a skating one?
I guess people don't. I don't think people just own skating rinks anymore. I feel like that's something that's just passed down.
We could go to Skateland, but they tore it down.
I assume that's in Ardmore?
Yeah, can't go anywhere now.
Well, there are roller rinks around here.
Yeah, do you know how much of those cost?
I can only imagine.
Yeah. We can't afford to film in California. That's why everything's leaving. Okay, this just got sad.
We should champion filming in California.
We should, but that's why everything's leaving. Oh boy.
I think we probably we're talking about 8 and 9, 10 today. This is episode 8, but we will be recording 9 and 10 later. So we're getting the whole season done today. So this should you probably, if you haven't watched 9 and 10, I might stop now if we might drop some details.
I agree.
Yep.
I agree. Okay. Where do we start? Again, this episode, I mean, I guess where we left off, let's just start, is that Taylor
them fighting in the car.
Mom are like, and you know what's interesting watching Taylor fight with her mom, it's that Taylor has actually done some therapy and some emotional work. So it's just her, and then her mother has no emotional kind of words to say anything at all.
Vocabulary. Totally.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's really, she always says all the time, I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. And I bet you that's what Taylor grew up with. Again, just like I talked about, a lot of silence or wondering what her mother was thinking.
Yeah, because the mom was stuck in her own trauma and that 1,000-yard stare of mom. The craziest thing is you see the mom, especially when she goes on her walkabout.
Yeah.
She is right there. Mm-hmm. She is 16 years old because she hasn't moved past it.
Yeah.
She's put everything in a little tiny box.
Yeah.
Marked Pueblo.
Yeah.
And bitch hasn't opened it.
Nope.
In a really long time.
Yeah.
I like when Taylor's asking her questions the whole time. She's like, this must be hard for you. She's like, yeah, it's kind of weird. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's like, it's a blur for you. And she's like, no, I remember it. I just really choose not to. Which I don't believe. I believe it's PTSD. I believe. And probably things are coming back because of the PTSD, and it's freaking her the fuck out.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think this is all too common, though.
Yeah. She got a new husband and gave it to God. And so their fight's kind of white. And finally, Leanne's like, I'm sick of talking about Dakota. You're hooked on him, which we learn because she gets triggered because it's basically reminds her of Taylor's dad.
It's her. Yeah. And it's her own. The cat's in the cradle. It is just repeating the same mistakes, which is why she's triggered. And at one point, Mom just goes, "Stop taking the Lord's name in vain, please." It's just, and it's one of these things. That's when Taylor just goes, "I just want to go home." And then I was triggered.
Yeah.
Because I remembered fights with my family in the car.
And that's what your mother would say at the last. She would just,
I just want to go, let me just take me home.
yeah. Yeah. All right. So do you want to jump to Salt Lake or do you want to stay in Colorado?
That's right. We're in 2 locations.
We're in 2 locations.
Let's stay in Pueblo. Pueblo.
So they agreed to try to get along. And they're going to go see Steve, her father's friend.
Leanne also dated for a while.
So that's what we find out. And she acts like they're seeing a stranger. She's like, "Oh, no, I knew.
Isn't that
Steve.
interesting?
We dated a little bit." And Taylor's like, "Oh," because the energy she's giving is like they're meeting a stranger or someone she like was a family friend that they saw like twice.
Because she would rather believe that.
Yeah.
Because if she believes this is someone she knew, she has to almost admit this actually happened. Because right now, she's treating it as almost something that's a made-up fairy tale.
Yeah.
This is an actual, what we're seeing is just a visual representation of what happens in PTSD and trauma.
Mm-hmm.
And when it's unresolved, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
Just a textbook.
Like I'm going to have lunch after this with a friend in town who thank God moved to LA but it's from Utah and was Mormon. I don't think she could watch this show.
Really?
I think it would be too triggering to her because some of her interactions of clamping things down and and avoiding trauma and
she's not Mormon anymore.
No, she's into crystals.
But
it's very, I think what I'm trying to say is I think this is more common, especially in Utah Mormon culture than we think.
Oh,
like you were
I
saying.
think it's more common everywhere, especially with religion.
Especially here, yeah.
But for LDS people, or especially people who were left the church or people who are currently in, you're just not taught to think of the past.
Mm-hmm.
It's the celestial kingdom.
Yeah.
You push it down and you put a good smile on, and it's not good.
It's not good.
So Steve tells them, "I knew Brian throughout my whole life. He was a great person, super intelligent. They keep talking about that he was very smart. Also a Taurus."
There you go.
And he's like, he used to fight a lot. Then he went to the Marines, got into a horrible car accident at 19, was never the same. And Leanne, this is the other thing. And I know Pueblo's not really that small of a town, but in Mormon culture, they date early.
Yeah.
And Leanne met him at 15. And I'm sorry, I know you said, and I think people, I went to in middle school, people were kind of dating, but it was like supervised parent dates. Like, I don't think this was. But you said you knew people who were seriously dating at 15.
It honestly usually was people that had less involvement of their parents in their life. Maybe their parents were working more.
Yeah.
Or it just, that was really it. I mean, really, that their parents were not as involved as other parents. Yeah. And I think my friend group, all the parents were pretty involved.
Yeah. I just didn't know a lot of people who were seriously dating at 15.
Yeah.
And so it just
I'd be interested to know
really
what
young to me.
I'd be interested to know what Leanne's parents were like.
Yeah.
And what her upbringing was like. Yeah.
So she says I guess she stayed with him that long. And
he really developed what happens to a lot of people. He had this horrible energy, a horrible accident, and then started taking.
It wrecked his life
because he started taking anti-pain pills, and then got addicted to pills.
Well,
and then
was never said. But I think I don't think that was said. about pain pills.
Well, and it said like it felt implied. It did feel
but
implied.
I was
though.
going to say it felt implied. It
Yeah.
wasn't said. Here's exactly
That's
what was
true.
said.
You know, it's so common. I just assumed
Right.
that was the story. Yeah.
But I just want to say, it says, I had the car accident. And then she says, I was in love with him. He had a hold on me, the same hold that Dakota has on Taylor. What she just said is he discovered cocaine. Sorry, Steve says this. He discovered cocaine, then crystal meth. So I feel like that was probably it. Of some type of pain medication. It was weird they didn't mention it.
Mm-hmm.
My question was, had he ever done drugs before that?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think it felt very magical the way they constructed this.
Yeah.
And I'm sure Steve would say, because he didn't want to say anything bad. So I think we got the most sanitized version of this story.
Well,
and
thank God, though. I mean, thank God he brought up what happened at the reservoir, just so Taylor has a bit of idea, because he started not to say it.
at the reservoir. One night at the reservoir.
And that's where we find out that he kicked her. And she was like, you just kind of see her go, yeah. Mm-hmm. And just kind of shake her head like someone saying, do you want a Dr. Pepper or a Diet Dr. Pepper or extra cheese? And she's like, mm-hmm. And she's then also added that one time he drug her out of a
dragged
club.
her out of a club, And
you see Taylor's face just kind of like,
this happened to my mother.
Just like, what the fuck?
It's interesting to me that I'm trying to, I feel like my mother, who had a terrible childhood, didn't tell us a lot about it. And we found out more about their childhood I found out more through talking to my uncles and talking to my cousins and some of the stuff that they had said.
I think that's true. I found out more about that. Yeah. I didn't realize how poor my dad was until later when I got older.
Because I remember when I asked my mom later, she's like, well, I didn't want to bother you with that. And I was like, okay. But some of it may have helped me understand you, because that's what people do who try to have dialogue with each other and to understand each other.
It could also be different in that my mother would talk to me about her childhood and even some of the darker parts, of my grandpa being an alcoholic, but it was not in detail. And but still feel like she had a good childhood. And then talking to her brother, it's a totally different story. Well, no, it's just, each kid is raised by it's just a different experience.
So Taylor says, maybe I need to give her some grace because she gets triggered anytime she sees any toxicity in my life. And she starts seeing a parallel to her and her mom.
How can you not?
And I know. So she found out she was pregnant with Taylor when they were broken up. And then they got back together and he was doing drugs. And it sounds like somehow they broke up again. Again, this was episodically described and with the idea that we were talking to someone who Taylor's dad was their best friend. So they didn't really want to talk shit about him. And we heard from, and so Steve says, but then you met Jeremy, and then you married Jeremy, and he adopted you. And Brian was so far gone, he took a step back and said, hey, that's fine. And Leanne says, I think Jeremy saved us. And they look at pictures of him. And y'all, Taylor has her father's smile. It looks just like him. And Leanne says, I would have dreams about him, that he would show up at our doorstep. Good God.
She's like, he never did. So.
And Taylor says, what else hasn't she told me about my father? Yeah. This would drive me crazy hearing this.
Well, because at this point, she's an adult. She's got, 2 or 3 children, I think.
Yeah.
She's old enough to know what happened. And I do think you shouldn't tell maybe your young kids there's different times and ages and how you tell things. But I think by the time a child is a 30-year-old adult, they should know what your upbringing was like, to know to understand you as a parent.
Right. I think also it was happening to you too as a child.
Mm-hmm.
And if she saw Taylor having these, here's why she can't say it, because that means she has to confront it and tolerate it. And that's why Leanne can't do it.
Yeah.
It's not because she doesn't want to help her daughter. She can't handle it herself.
No, there's a wanting, and then the act. She doesn't know how to help her daughter.
Right. Later on, they are driving around and going, and then they show up at this place. She's like, "This is where we met your dad." And it again is this like, this is, you add a cup of sugar to blueberry muffins, and you stir. And
it's that person went, what do you mean? What do you mean, meet my dad? And then you find out it's like the one time in Taylor's childhood when she met her father.
Yeah. And she's like, and Mom's like, well, I saw him and I asked if he wanted to meet you. And so I called you over. And she's like, that's when Taylor says, was that really weird for you? And the mom goes, it was different. It was different.
That's what I meant earlier when I said, like, when she asked you, when she asked her, did this bring back any memories for you? Like, what did you think that day? And she was like, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
She said, and then she says, well, you don't like to talk about him, Mom. And she's like, it's just a really long time ago. Was it? It's not that far. It's 20 years. She's acting like it's 50 years ago. Probably feels that far to her because she's put it back that far.
Yeah.
But Leanne says, she keeps asking me questions, but I don't want to hurt her anymore. And I don't think I'm ready to talk about these things. Bottom line, that's it. And I hope you would respect that I might not ever be ready. And then she says, I need to walk. And then what's interesting, I know. And then think about this. Remember how Taylor's asking her mom to open up to her about and tell her things. And remember about 6 episodes ago when Taylor says, I can't talk to you about things. And the mom's like, why can't you tell me things? Because of this.
Mm-hmm.
Because of the fact that Mom hasn't been candid with you, with her. Mm-hmm. That's why she can't tell Mom things.
Yeah.
It's so obvious. God, it's just like, whoo, it's heavy shit.
It is.
I think let's keep going. Let's finish Pueblo here. Mom is walking around. She's not answering her phone. And they find them going to the childhood home. I've got to say, if you've ever been to your childhood home, there is nothing weirder than showing up and seeing someone else living in your house and say, hey, can we take a look around? We used to live here.
You've never experienced that, have you? Because your parents still live in your childhood home, right?
Not my first childhood home.
Oh,
but I was only there till I was like 4, though.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I grew up from 4 to the same thing. Yeah.
Oh, no, I've done that. My mom sold the house and I had to take something, like she found plans like 2 years later. And this is when she lived in Oklahoma City. And she said, hey, can you go by and take it? And it literally is that fucking Miranda Lambert song, The House That Built Me. That's the first time I heard that song, I cried because it's such a beautiful articulation.
Mm-hmm.
It was so weird, them saying, oh, come and look what we did, and seeing how they changed the bathroom and this, and seeing my bedroom, and it was an office, and like, it was just so, it was surreal. It was surreal.
I think I would go, I'm not really, I want to show you my house.
Because that's the house I grew up. No, you wouldn't. I was born, basically, I moved there at 3 months and then left at 18. So,
yeah.
But so this was that for them. And Leanne keeps talking about,
your dad planted the trees.
They lived here with her dad now, quote, her stepdad, but who she calls dad. And so, it's so funny because my mother said that too. One time my mom drove by and she said, I remember when we planted those trees, we always imagined when they would touch and we never got to see it. And now look at them. They're touching. And we just drove in silence.
So gothic. And so Taylor says, we came here for answers, but, I guess I gotta say, I have you and I have my dad, and you've been through a lot of trauma and abuse, and I feel terrible for you. You share what you want. And then Leanne says, I owe you that. I would have, loved to have that type of family, but it was never going to happen. I had your best interest. I chose you. And then Taylor keeps saying, I'm sorry. There's a lot of anger in me. And Leanne says, it's nice to hear that I'm enough for her, but I want her to think that she's enough. And I think this is a nice kind of Band-Aid, but man, they need to get together in a therapist's office.
Yeah. Because Leanne needs her own therapy.
Yes, well, of course.
And then I actually almost think, because it'd be over, Leanne needs to do her own therapy for about a year. Yeah. And then I actually think she needs to do her own therapy to even prepare to do a family therapy session with her.
Right. Because she's not really connected to it.
She also needs language. She needs tools. She needs to learn how to express herself without...
Yeah.
Just period. Just express herself. But
express yourself. Don't repress yourself.
Exactly.
Don't repress yourself.
All right, y'all. We're back in Salt Lake City. And Mason and Layla are at a playground.
Mason and Layla.
And so right now, Mason sees her kids about once a week. And she feels like he's not really into this being a kid thing. She's like, I just worry he's not in a place to do this.
You mean because he's like a 24-year-old guy?
Yeah.
Yeah. I do think that men raised in the LDS church are programmed that I'm going to have a family.
Yeah.
Yeah. This guy, though, he just kind of rolls through life. It feels like
his energy's very laid back.
Fucking hot. Good God.
He is.
So she's going to New York City with him and doing modeling, and he should do modeling. And
I think he does. Based off some of his pictures on Instagram, they look modelly.
Yeah. And so she's going to have a meeting with Ford models, and he says, she's like, okay, just 5 more minutes. And he's like, hey, I don't think you should do the another 5 minutes things because kids push you, and I think you should put your foot down more. And she's like, yeah, okay, whatever. They're like kids. And he's like, and so she said, I'm scared to bring this up to him, that I don't want him to talk about things like this. And
I'm sorry, you don't ever get to comment until maybe you're married. You don't ever get to comment on her parenting.
Yeah.
That's not your business.
Or if anything, asking her questions about it instead of criticizing.
Mm-hmm.
Say, I'm just curious about this whole parenting thing. Why do you do that? You can ask her questions instead of telling her how she should parent.
Agree, but I do think at this stage in the relationship, he shouldn't even be doing that.
He has no business.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, she has no business dropping things like babysitter or you can be a stepdaddy.
That's true as well.
She's been saying things like that.
She does bring it into the conversation. That's true. That is true.
So I think, but the problem is she's been inviting him to spend time. They've only been dating for 5 months. He spends one day a week with her children.
Mm-hmm.
What is that saying? So I'm going to say, I think that's an open opportunity when you think about it that way. I don't know at this point, I don't think he should have went this way, but when do it seems like she is literally priming him to be a stepfather.
True. That's true.
This is not the way to do it for what he did, but when is the time to talk about parenting ways if they have different ones?
Yeah.
But
also everything just with kids and it just all moves so quicker here in Utah.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I I would completely agree with you, but the way she has handled this is almost by making him a quasi stepfather already.
That's fair. Look,
Where are we?
I love Layla, but she's not very practical. Sometimes she's a little delusional, meaning one that like, we kind of see like, I shouldn't say delusional. She's not delusional. She's naive. Yeah. I feel like Layla hasn't been in the world a lot. And we see this a lot like when she goes to New York, because she's going to go to New York for this modeling. She's meeting with Ford Modeling Agency. Mason is coming with her. And she's, this has always been her dream. She put it on hold because she had kids. And so
then she
excited to go.
Did some more, and then she had more kids. And also, how does she not have a book? How do you walk into Ford Models and not have a book?
I agree. When she said that, I was like, oh boy. Boy.
I really thought they might sign her just because you're morons if you don't. But she doesn't have a book.
But if they didn't sign her, it probably means she's really just too green to be signed.
Exactly. You're right.
So, we find out that they didn't. So anyway, they're going to go to New York. That's basically that. We're going to touch back with them later.
Also, she says that, and you'd probably need, she's like, is coming out to New York City once a month enough? What? So you're thinking you're going to get auditions?
Naive. She's just very naive.
Yeah.
And I think she thinks that because she's on this really popular show, and they're popular, but they're not like Kardashian.
Not in the world
popular.
of famous. Not in the world of fashion.
They're not. Yeah. So you got to work up to that still.
Then later we are at a bar in New York City, a bustling New York City bar. And she's like, I'm worried about having my mom talk, but this is my dream. And, and Mason's like, 3 months is a long time. She's like, would you come visit me? Or would you be at home and be a stepdaddy? What the ever living fuck?
That was a lot. Yeah.
And I know it's a joke, but I don't know why you want to joke like that.
Yeah.
I think there's no boundaries in a relationship like this. And honestly, now I understand why he thought he was able to opine a little bit. Well, and I think he's also a little, probably a little scared.
When he said, I would watch your kids. And then she says in her interview, she's like, well, I don't know if I'm ready for that. But I think I need his support to make this work. And I'm like,
what does that mean?
Yeah. And you're talking out of both sides of your mouth here.
This was really frustrating.
And she brings out to him, she's like, look, when they get a little crazy, I feel like it's testing your patience. And that's where he says, well, I do feel like they can get away with murder. Sometimes they throw things at you.
They throw things at you. And she's like, well, they're 4. And then he's like, and when they hit you, I want to say, I don't do that. And she thinks he's overstepping. And she finally says, look,
she brought it up.
Their mom. You're not the stepdad. That's not something going to happen until it's far down the line. Then stop talking like
stop talking about it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's the thing. I think this is all of her own making. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, ugh. And she's like, don't you say I don't discipline them, but I carry around a lot of guilt that I couldn't keep my family together. Coming from a broken household, I feel like I need to give my kids the best. And
if we remember correctly, if I remember Layla, her parents got divorced and she didn't see her dad a lot, right?
Yeah.
I think it was her dad. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But remember, the way you were brought up can't be the whole soul parental philosophy that you do with your children to right some wrong.
I get it.
That has to be done objectively. It can't be to right the wrongs that happened in your childhood.
What happened is she talks about this guilt, and then Mason looks at her and says, I never thought about the guilt you have and I want you to know it's not your fault. And then this guy starts crying.
It was really hot.
And it was so fucking hot. I'm so into Mason and Chase, it's problematic.
Yep. It's a shame you are.
Yeah.
Glad I'm not.
Y'all have already sent us Chase and Miranda's TikToks, and that's not helping either. God, I love him.
Okay. All right. I think we can go back now. Our third location, which I believe is Provo.
Sure. Provo and Red West.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
So we're at Jessi's house, I believe. And Jessi, they're putting out pumpkins because when your marriage is falling apart, you got to let those kids have a holiday.
You got to be seasonal.
Well, remember, too, though, she has a Halloween party. Spoiler alert, it's always the worst fucking costumes at the Halloween party. It's a stupid party,
I would
and
love
no
for
one ever tries.
I would love for someone to come up dressed like a fucking corpse.
Yes.
With like blood and gore hanging off. Everyone's just dressed in like hot, sexy costumes.
It's so stupid. Pisses me off.
One person to put in some real work, prosthetics, everything. Someone
Agreed.
come as a goddamn devil.
Yes.
Horns on the head.
Yes, looking like Tim Curry from Legend.
Oh, fuck me. That was so hot.
I know you were really into that.
Big old horns. I'm not the only one who didn't want to get fucked by that big red monster.
No. Yeah. It's true.
So and Dakota, they're like, so Dakota's seeing someone, it's someone we know. Of course, Jordan is blabbing.
But yeah, Jordan's like, but he won't tell me who it is.
And Jordan's like, on a scale from 1 to 10, he says it's a 9. Y'all.
Let me clarify. She asked on a scale of 1 to 10, how bad is it? And he said a 9.
Yeah.
And
here's the thing. Go ahead.
She already knows. She's like, it's Shinia. I know it's her.
Yeah. And then she says, Taylor and Shinia were talking about the guy she was seeing. And then Jordan says, I have his location. She's like, what? She's like, oh, yeah, all the Dad Talk guys share locations.
Sure.
And we find out that that's Miranda's best friend because she was the one at pickleball.
Yeah.
And then this is everyone Dakota chooses is someone who would piss Taylor off. I have a question for you. And I honestly, I think it is, I'm trying to figure out, do you think when he does choose these people, because I think Dakota is a very kind of messed up individual, but do you think he understands the gravity, or do you think it is just the toxicity of him needing to choose people closer to Taylor, or do you think it's calculated and malevolent?
I do think it is now.
I
would have said historically no.
I know. I think it changed for me. I now think it is calculated.
I think there's like really a bit of evilness behind it, and he just wants to. He feels like he's trying to act like he's this sober, easier going guy, but it gives me vibes like he feels like he almost should own Taylor, or that it's him and her and no one else.
I don't know if I would go. I think he thinks that
he's just let me say this. The thing that's dangerous about Dakota, even though he is a mess, he's also hyper aware of what people are, because when he was going through addiction, everybody was talking about him and the swinger. So he's hyper aware of the conversations that are being had about him.
Yeah.
So, which also then tells me he's hyper aware of the game of it all. Yeah. And I think that he does want to win the game.
Yeah. And I think he needs Taylor to need him.
She's the queen in the chess piece. Yeah. He needs her. Yeah.
And there's something that's written in his brain that says also, if I can be her knight.
Yeah.
And it's giving him an identity. which he doesn't have.
It's really gross, especially the way
really fucked up.
It's really fucked up.
And
Yeah.
I only kind of saw it because he's really good at just making it a symptom of the chaos of it all.
Mm-hmm.
But this, like, especially episodes 9 and 10, I went, oh.
Yeah, because remember earlier this season, this is a guy telling his bros, not Taylor, telling his bros he doesn't want to be with her anymore.
Right.
And then he's doing this.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucked.
I also think production,
up.
there's a turn, production completely turns on him in the next 2 episodes.
Yeah, because I think he got to edit like, oh, it's Dakota. It's kind of laughable. He's just a fuckboy Dakota.
Right.
He's not that. He's not
Yeah,
that.
I think
It's because and a lot of people that struggle with addiction know how to be very manipulative because they had to manipulate to get drugs. And so
he is
this
extremely manipulative.
After this season, I think Dakota's dangerous. Mm-hmm. And he will ruin her life.
He'll ruin the life of any woman.
And probably get her on drugs.
Oh, you think he's still doing?
He's going to relapse. With this behavior, he will relapse.
I'm saying he's still using now.
No, I don't think he is now. But with this behavior,
yeah,
he's going to relapse. For sure.
So, we're at the Red West Festival.
Yes.
And,
yeah. I like that Macy's like, Jacob got tickets, but he gave Dakota a pass, so I'm pissed at him. I yelled at him for it.
Isn't it interesting? Macy has had this kind of sixth sense about Dakota as soon as she met him.
Oh, yeah.
And all the other girls never really liked him. They've all kind of, and then slowly they came around to it. But Macy despised him from the jump.
Truly.
I think it's because, part of me wants to read Macy's book now. And I said I was never going to read it. But I think the experiences that she had shaped her and where she can see these things now.
I agree.
Yeah. I think she's such an interesting person. I feel like we've really seen it since the beginning of season 1 where I didn't really think a lot of her. And between season 3 and season 4, I'm like, there's a lot to this person.
There is. Yeah.
There's a lot to all of them, really.
I agree.
Even Miranda.
This Miranda to me is like, especially the way Miranda acts in these last episodes. I adore her. Well, if I met her, I'd freak out.
All right, calm down.
No, I could be excited.
Yeah. So Jessi basically says, yeah, he's got a roster. And he's like, but there's one particularly issue. And everyone says, but ask Jordan. And Jordan is like, I don't want to tell him because last time, but he really does. You can tell. So they're grilling Dakota. And Jessi's like, I'm just going to pretend that Jordan told me. And
so smart.
I know. She's like, we all know it's Shinia. And Macy's like, this is a safe environment. And Dakota's like, it is so not.
When she said it's Shinia, you see Jordan's face or you see Dakota's face fall.
Yes.
And he kind of stops and she went, oh God, this is so bad. This is so bad. I was right. And Michaela's like, when I think Dakota can't get dumber. And this is the thing that I notice that women do a lot, especially in these type of cultures. If a woman does this, she's a calculating bitch. But if a man does this, and we use this term a lot and say, I've done it. Men are so dumb. And it made me think, I think we need to stop saying that because men aren't dumb. They're being calculated assholes. And why can't we say that's what this guy's doing? Because when we say they're being dumb, it almost excuses him like he doesn't know any better. It's just a man.
Totally agree.
And I think this is a language that we need to change.
I think dumb is a lot of times where not using your brain and only using your penis. That's what I think that is a synonym for. I don't know if it means intelligence. I would. And it means setting aside all your intelligence and only thinking about your own needs. Mm-hmm. Mostly sexually.
But also
that's when
not
they talk
in a
about
way that, but also with not the consequences of deeply hurting someone you quote love who's the mother of your child.
Right. But that goes along with setting aside your own intelligence.
Yes. Mm-hmm. I agree. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So Macy's the only one that's like, oh, I think he's doing this to make her jealous. I don't think this is about him being dumb. And Dakota's like, I didn't want this to come out before the Bachelorette. Yes, he did. Right. He did want it to come out before Bachelorette. And because he says he's scared of Taylor finding out. No, he wanted all of this. He told Jordan because he knew Jordan
he wanted
couldn't
all of
keep
it.
his mouth shut.
He wanted all of it.
And he knew that once these girls are like a dog on a bone, they can't let it go, especially Jessi. That's why he told Jordan.
Yep. This is where my view started to shift completely.
Yeah.
And day 2 of Red West, there's no
the girls are at a photo shoot, so it's just Jordan.
So it's Dakota and Jordan and Shinia.
Shinia is she comes today. And
Dakota's like, I need and Miranda.
Yes, and Dakota's like, I need to talk to her because all the mom talk is going to know now. She's got no voice, but she's there, and whatever. There's a storm outside.
And
everybody's
Miranda
screaming, blah, blah, blah.
said she knows about this, but she just found out, and that's when Miranda, even they were talking about, she wanted Dakota wanted people to know it's calculated, and Jordan says they're both addicts for each other, and Miranda's like, I said this was going to end badly. And
she thought it would be a one-time thing. And that's kind of what she talks about later on. She thought she didn't know they're actually like, she saw the DM. She thought one-time fling that they're not going to like actually be together.
Right. And then she tells Dakota, well, it's been nice knowing you. She tells Shinia, I'll write your eulogy. And,
she does say that.
Shinia kind of gets up and leaves. And she says, it feels so terrible, but it's kind of working. And Miranda's like, he doesn't care about you.
This is where she takes her into the bathroom. And this is when I was like, Miranda's a real one and I fucking love her. Yeah,
and she
says,
laid it out. He doesn't care about you. And you can do a hell of a lot better.
He's love bombing the shit out of you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she says, love bombing is gross only if you don't like them. And she says, no, love bombing is, she's like, no, love bombing is still gross when you like them too. Which she's right.
Yep. Yep. Well, what Dakota does is has this kind of fake sincerity. Like,
oh yeah,
I understand you. And
it's like at the Halloween party, he wears a costume that says, I'm a red flag, because you think if somebody has awareness of their fucked upness, a lot of people think that they're
safe,
working on it or safe. But no, as Miranda said, he never lives up to his potential. And she's like, let's wrap this up and move on. Sometimes you need a friend to look at you and say, let's wrap it up
and move on.
Move the fuck on.
And then she's talking to him later. He's like, look, baby, I've been really enjoying hanging out with you.
Dakota's talking to Shinia, right? Is that what you're talking about?
But Taylor always just gets to me. I wish I just didn't have to deal with it. So he is already externalizing Taylor out of this and making her the problem. And she's like, why don't you bring me into this shit? He's like, sorry, I'm just in a shitty position. What do you want to do now? I just want us to stay in our bubble.
I hate her. She doesn't deserve that name.
Shinia?
No.
First of all, she's being a really shitty friend.
Yes.
And I agree with Macy says this, I think, in the next episode. Salt Lake City isn't that small. You could find other guys.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
So later on, we're having to have a meeting, a mom talk meeting about all of this and how it's not going to trigger Taylor when she finds out.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, and Miranda says she knew this was going to put me in a shitty position talking about Shinia. And that's been talking about the love bombing. And then we find out they made an agreement to only sleep with each other, a sex pact. And then thinking, but I'm sure Dakota isn't even keeping up with his end of the bargain.
No, because he's a fucking Taylor.
Jessi says he hooked up with Jenna the other night and almost had sex with her. That's such a Mormon thing. And he almost had sex with her.
Yeah.
And that's the girl from way back. And I gasped because remember that whole thing with Taylor and that girl?
They showed that girl and Taylor again. That's where like you really put the pieces together. This guy's just a fucking monster. I hate him.
This was it. I was like, this is all the gloves are off. There's one little thing. I think it was just something in LA. This episode was a mess with all the locations.
It was.
Jen is calling Michaela and talking about this is the hardest thing we've ever done. And Whitney is still in Demi's corner and we're not getting along. Put a pin in that because that will show up in the next couple episodes. And I believe that is it.
I think Macy encapsulated this episode well when she said, "We thought we went to hell, but hell has a basement."
Mm-hmm.
That was a great line. So, woo.
Yeah, Dakota needs to be publicly shamed.
But I don't think he'll care.
Well,
he'll act like he does, but I don't think it's going to change.
Here's the thing, though.
Guy.
Once you're really publicly shamed in Salt Lake or Provo, it'd be hard for anyone to date you. So
he'll move to Austin.
Dad talk would have to. Well, the thing is, being Mormon, you'd be surprised how hard it is to get out of it.
No. You have family. I was making a joke.
Yeah, but if Dad talk drops him, that would be it.
I don't think they are.
I don't think they are though.
No, because Dad talk is.
It's a good time.
Yeah, and like we've already. And there's a lot of the reaction to this season has been, we like this season, but can the dads just go away?
Yeah.
And we also know this is I won't say it. We'll save it for later, but there's already been some news about some of the relationships as we're recording this.
No, it's out. Jason and Michaela have separated.
Yeah, they have separated. So, yeah, which I don't think it's going to go well for her with someone else. But sure.
I don't think they are trying to do that yet. I think they're just trying to take time apart.
Yeah. All right, everybody. That is the episode. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for your patience. I know these last 3 episodes we took a bit to get out, but we appreciate y'all for waiting. Thank you so much.
Sorry, I had the flu.
Oh, God. I don't care
did my best.
Now that you're better. Jesus. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. We'll see you in the next episode. But for now, this is Reality Gays saying goodbye for now.
And as always, we leave you with the immortal and strong words of Demi.
Mm-hmm. What does she think about all this?
Guide us.
Mm-hmm.